go ahead and get started. Make sure I'm sharing my screen. And then I'm going to go ahead and introduce our speakers as well. But thank you everybody for joining us, whether live or in a recording version of this, to the GPS Insight 3 Essential Solutions to Beat Your Competitors webinar. We have an exciting presentation for y'all today. Got some really um, like essential things we really believe will help. I try to come up with a more creative word, but just not feeling creative today, I suppose. Um, go ahead and getting us started. Well, before we go ahead and get started, again, just want to encourage everybody who's watching the live webinar to ask questions via the Q&A button. That'll be down at the bottom of your screen. We're going to put all those into a list and then we're going to answer them at the end of the presentation. And if you're watching a recording of this webinar and you have questions that maybe didn't get answered in the recorded session, please reach out to us, support@gpsinsight.com, and just make your subject line July webinar questions, and we'll be more than happy to get those answers to you. So kicking us off today, our presenters are going to be John Town. He'll start us off, our FSM support manager. Then I will address you today. My name is Miles Prim. I'm the marketing content manager. And then finishing us off will be Evan Korn. He's our mid-market sales manager. And then after Evan's section, we will proceed to the question and answers. So appreciate your patience, and we'll make sure everybody is here with us. John, you ready to roll?
Yes, I am.
All right. Well, with that, John, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you, Miles. If you want to go ahead and go to the next slide. Awesome. Well, everyone, thank you for your time today. Just want to give you a quick overview of Service Bridge and the value that it can add to your overall operation. So, Service Bridge is an FSM software that actually does much more than just manage your field techs. It will connect all aspects of your business. And so, with Service Bridge, you can have your scheduling, dispatching, GPS tracking, and billing all in one place. Ultimately, if you take advantage of our integrations plus the open API, the possibilities end up being endless. And so, what this is showing here is just some of the different ways, some of the different programs, some of the different software that you would be able to plug into Service Bridge and have that data flowing. Next slide, Miles. Excuse me. And so here, what we're highlighting, this is a basic field service management workflow, um, basically showing from A to Z how we can help you all throughout the line. But what this also captures is a lot of the features and functionality that Service Bridge offers. And so from the field, or I'm sorry, from the office to the field and then back to the office, you'll never lose sight of your work and process using Service Bridge. So we can help you all the way from that initial contact when you first get that customer request, building out the estimate or the job and creating that work detail or job detail. And from there, you're able to navigate, schedule everything through a calendar. A lot of people like the analogy of if you've ever used Microsoft Outlook or Google Calendar, a lot of that simple usability you'll find within our calendar functionality as well. And so from there, we have dispatching features. We'll talk a little bit about the integrated map. We do have a great mobile device, works perfectly on both a tablet or on a mobile phone. And from there, you're actually able to um, manage customer communications, obviously work through the jobs themselves. And with our system, you're able to capture payments, pictures, and signatures directly from the mobile app. And then, as I referenced, you take it all back to the office. From there, you can review work orders, fulfill invoicing, capture payments, and look back, excuse me, at the reports that are highly customizable. And so, Miles, next slide, please. And so with Service Bridge, we have our home dashboard, and our home dashboard will give you quick access to everything, all the way from invoicing, work in process, and even your vehicle maintenance. So if you need to dig in deeper to a specific area, You can do that directly from the Service Bridge dashboard. Take, for example, you may see an outstanding invoice that still hasn't been paid. You can simply click in, it'll pop open that invoice. Go ahead and resend that to the customer, contact the customer if need be. Same thing with your vehicle maintenance. You can see directly from the dashboard if you have overdue PMs, go ahead and dig right into that and update it accordingly. So, next slide, Miles. And so these next two slides, this is a two-part slide, and I do this so that I can show you via the power of slideshows. I'd like to illustrate how easy it is to navigate our calendar. And so what we're looking at here, again, this is our calendar functionality. And so if you've used Outlook or Google Calendar before as an example, and you're familiar with that drag and drop, if you ever need to readjust a calendar invite, it's very similar to how it operates within Service Bridge. So Miles, if you can actually, sorry, before you click, on the left-hand side, you'll see that we have a grayed out column. Those are all our unassigned jobs. Throughout the color coding, you have various teams or technicians, and then the jobs that are assigned to them directly following below in that column. And so now, Miles, if you don't mind clicking the next. And so as easily as Miles just clicked to the next slide, you could easily reassign that job over to your technician. It's very simple to drag and drop. And what that does is carry over all the job detail, everything that your technician needs to know to do to accomplish the task at hand out in the field is automatically dispatched. And then they just pick it up on their mobile device from the mobile app and carry it on through there. Next slide, Miles, please. And so I mentioned integrated maps. And so for those of you that may already be an FSM customer, or those of you that may already be a GPS customer but not have the other, what ties all our systems together is our integrated maps. With our integrated maps, you're able to see your GPS feed from our products, ClearPath GPS and GPS Insight. And within the integrated maps, you're able to access jobs, vehicles, and technicians all in one live dynamic map. If you need to make adjustments to a job, you can do it right there on the fly. If you need to make an adjustment to a vehicle, again, you can do it right there on the fly. It's all happening in one consolidated map. Next slide, Miles. And so, like I mentioned, we do have a great mobile app. Again, it's available on um, cell phones, mobile devices, but it is also available on tablets. And so, whether you have an Apple device, an Android device, our system is very open to all. So very easy to get that on your mobile device, whatever that may be. And then we do have a couple of really great integrations I wanted to point out. QuickBooks Online, we have a bi-directional integration with. And so what that means is if you're already using QuickBooks Online for your accounting needs, you can actually tie that into Service Bridge. And so if you make updates in QuickBooks, Service Bridge will automatically update. And if you make updates in Service Bridge, QuickBooks will automatically update. So that's a great integration you can take advantage of, especially if you're already using QuickBooks Online. And then I mentioned our GPS products, ClearPath GPS and GPS Insight, both integrating directly into our integrated map. You'll be able to see your vehicles live and in real time, along with your jobs and your technicians. Next slide, Miles. And so I always like to use the analogy, we don't just throw you into the deep end and hope that you can swim. One thing that really sets Service Bridge apart is twofold. We do offer personalized onboarding for all new customers. So we don't just expect to throw you into the deep end and hope that you can swim. We do take you through the proper steps and make sure that you are set up for success. Another thing that we've heard from our customers coming from other FSM products is that our product is so intuitive and easy to use. We do have a much more condensed onboarding plan than some of our other competitors may have out there. Again, it's because the system is easy to use and you have those personalized sessions that they will tailor to your pace and to your needs. And then just to wrap it up on the last slide again, what Service Bridge is doing is much more than just your basic FSM offering. Yes, we do offer the scheduling, the dispatching, the customer management, but as you can see, Service Bridge does allow you to tie in not just the GPS tracking, not just the accounting software, but utilizing Open API and some of the other software that you may already be using. If we can't replace it, we'd love to work with it. And so at the end of the day, Service Bridge is something that can always complement whatever existing systems you are using. However, if there's always a possibility, we'd love to help you reduce the amount of software and the amount of logins that you have on a day-to-day basis. Thank you, Miles.
Thanks, JT. Really appreciate that. Um, so I'm going to go ahead and take over. So the second essential element to making your business the best that it can be is partnering with somebody um, with something that we like to call customer obsession. So JT talked about our FSM solutions. That's one core pillar. Customer obsession is the second one, and then of course Evan's going to address our third one. But what's great about customer obsession is kind of the stories and experiences that I'm going to share apply to all of our brands. GPS Insight has the privilege of having a lot of different names that is associated with our brand. As we just saw, we got Service Bridge, we got ClearPath. There's a handful of others out there, but I don't want you to take away from this as like, oh well, this only works for blank brand. Like, no, this is for anyone and everyone who partners with GPS Insight. It's one thing to have a customer support line that you can call, and it's another thing to have a customer support line that you can call, depend on, and get actual solutions and results from. And that's something we pride ourselves in. And I want to share an experience from a recent customer testimonial we received. This is Demaine and Dwayne Watson. They're brothers. They manage and operate Connect Critical Infrastructure Solutions in Jamaica. Um, Two great individuals. It's one thing to like get really excited and passionate about your job. These guys have that passion. These guys could not stop smiling. And honestly, I didn't think it was humanly possible to smile and get as excited about an FSM solution until I met these two and we had an interview with them about their experiences. So I hope to share some of their contagious attitudes about how they felt about Service Bridge and how we were able to help them through specific scenarios that were game changers for them. So the first video I'm going to share, this is Dwayne, and he's sharing his experience about what made him decide to go with Service Bridge. They were shopping around and just like a core function that helped them recognize that Service Bridge was the one for their business.
They were nowhere close. And it is now at the point where our business is pretty much built around having access to Service Bridge. So our two main software that we can't live without is QuickBooks, Service Bridge. We don't function without any of those two, any at all.
Um, as Dwayne was saying, one of the core functions, they went through a lot of FSM solutions, and the one that really stood out most to them was the one that worked with the software that they already had. As JT mentioned, we integrate super well with QuickBooks Online, and as Dwayne said, they could not survive. Without a solution that partnered with QuickBooks. So that was one of the essential things that brought them on to want to use Service Bridge as their main FSM solution. And then, I we're talking about customer obsession, and I think this one goes to show probably one of the best elements of our customer obsession. So this is Dwayne's brother. He is usually out with the fleet on a regular basis, doing jobs, managing jobs, coordinating jobs. And you have to understand their business is spread across the entire island of Jamaica. So you have techs who are 4 hours away from their home base, and using paperwork and stuff like that, things can get complicated. So Domain has a very complicated job at times, and to give some context to this video, he said he was having some issues, and he called customer support for the first time. And what he'll go on to say in this video is, they didn't know anything that was going on. He didn't really provide them a lot of context, but there were still some results that came from it.
And to go back to what Dwayne says, Derek from support, I have never messaged Derek, and he doesn't know what to do. He give me solutions. I remember one time I was having an issue, and he even called me. He said, "Hey, what's a number I can reach you?" And I let him know that, hey, I'm not in the US, I'm actually in Jamaica. And he said, yeah, no problem. He called me, we talked, and he said, okay, now I have a better understanding of the issue you're facing. Okay, so cool. I'm going to make some checks and get back to you. He sent me the mail and problem solved. Until every time we have an issue, doing first response is, did you tell Derek? Derek? What did Derek say about this? What did Derek say about that?
Interestingly enough, not because they have a lot of problems, but Domain and Derek have kind of become buddies, and they're not joking when they say, "Okay, well, did we talk to Derek about this?" And that goes to show that we're ready and available to help and support you in any time, any place. And we promise to get back to you too. A lot of times you'll put in a ticket for help and then it just disappears. But we are gonna make sure we're gonna put in that extra effort to bring you the results that you need when you need it. And I shared this with Derek, and he was super excited, and immediately he's like, "Oh yeah, I know Domain. I love Domain, and working with them has been very mutually beneficial for both parties." Um, so this last point is this is back to Dwayne. He's talking about the benefits of using a top tier solution when it comes to Service Bridge. Again, this also applies to our other solutions that we offer. But I just really like this point that he made when it comes to, taking that next step to going into Service Bridge, using a proper FSM solution to help your business.
It's to the point now where it becomes so much a part of what we do, it's difficult to consider that it isn't standard. It's like when you go in your car and you have the button to wind up the windows. Just thinking that there was a moment in time where you had to crank that manually. For people now, they're like, really? That's what you have to do? So like, no, just having some of those features, it's like, yeah, this is what we do. So what do you do?
So I love that, right? He compares to using solutions like Service Bridge as to like an automatic window. I think that's perfect, right? Because if you're in the service industries, right, and you have to fill out a manual piece of paper for your ticket, that's such a nightmare. And to go to an FSM solution that's accessible on a tablet, accessible on a smart device, that's just already putting you leaps and bounds ahead of your competitions. And the same solutions apply for other features and products that we offer. And just to wrap it all up with customer obsession is one of our core values here at GPS Insight. We have a completely US based support team. So whether you're going to reach out to us from Jamaica or anywhere else, you're guaranteed to call somebody here at our US office. We do not outsource that at all. We also offer 24/7 support. So I mean, problems never happen at a convenient time, but we promise to offer a solution at a convenient time, which is as soon as possible. We also offer tailor-made solutions to fit your business's needs. We're not going to just throw something at you and hopefully that it solves all your problems. We're going to hear you out, and at times we're gonna work with you in finding a solution. And if we have to build it from piece by piece, we're going to try our best to do that. We also, again, like what JT had mentioned, we offer seamless integrations across all platforms. So if you're already with Service Bridge or you already have GPS Insight or ClearPath, we offer very easy means to integrate the other one that you may not have. So you don't ever skip a beat. It's as if you wake up the next day and there you go. You're ready to roll with two solutions that are there to help and support you, with, again, the same US based customer support team to help you every step of the way. And I like to invite you to learn more about our solutions and our customer support. We have customer success stories on our YouTube channel. If you visit GPS Insight on YouTube, you'll be able to see a playlist that's our customer success stories, and you can see Demaine and Dwayne, their full testimonial on there, along with other customers who have reached out to us and shared their positive experiences, both from a service bridge side and from a GPS side. So telematics, FSM, the works. We have some people who are saying some positive things about us. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Evan.
Perfect. Miles, thank you. I think I'm online. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, perfect. That means audience can as well. Audience, hello. I can't see you. I do want to acknowledge and say, number one, thank you for being a GPS Insight customer. My understanding is we have customers who may have just our service bridge solution only, or possibly our GPS solution only. So what we're going to talk about now are layers of benefit, how we can really add to your company's efficiency. Really what it comes down to is success. So as we get started, the goal behind today's presentation for me and with cameras is to educate our customer base. Hey, to let you know there are a few different camera solutions that will benefit your company. And of course, they range from good, better, and best. So we're going to talk about what that looks like, how we would help your company really come into play. So we talk about incentivization and bringing employees into the fray, especially good with our franchise style customers who have a great many vehicles, a great many locations, and well, you'd like to put a standard process in place. So what we have is our best grade camera solution. Really, all of them give you as a customer the new ability to provide benefit to your drivers. We want to give them incentive to want to do better. We found incentivization usually revolves around a bonus structure, as we're looking at here. We have customers that rely on word of mouth. And by that, I mean the safest driver of the week may be placed on the lunchroom bulletin board. Again, focusing on that positive aspect is going to give us a way to really improve the relationship. So when we talk about incentivization, how are we going to present this? The first is we need to have an accurate score. We need to have a truly reliable solution that grades our drivers, and not only that, but gives us the information on how to coach our drivers because we want them to improve. We're looking at here, Sean, in this particular week of driving, has what would be a 67 in old school math, a high D, which is leaving really a lot of room for improvement. Half the time they're risk free. So what we're going to do now is with this top tier camera, and this would be a camera, for example, for a customer that might have GPS in place already. And so you're looking to add a camera solution. Might be the type of customer where you really want that highest level of driver coaching and accountability. And without reading them to you, the audience, you can see some of the things that we're looking for. And the benefits really come to that right side where the scoring solution provides true access to bettering the fleet capability. So as we look at the camera, of course, we're going to have G-force events, and we're going to have what we'll call easy indication of behavior that needs to be changed. we'd like to change that and go from that whack-a-mole theory to punishing drivers. We want to incentivize good behavior. So we're going to monitor for everything they're doing right, in addition to, of course, what they're doing wrong. So if they're a risk-free driver, their score goes up. If they create extra credit scenarios, such as stopping at a sequence of stop signs, their score goes up. And of course, the advanced nature of artificial intelligence is going to give that complete picture of every minute of drive time. So when you're looking at the overall snapshot, the overall safety score, it is based on every second of drive time. Now, I did mention we want to give accountability to the drivers. And again, as I mentioned, a franchise type scenario with many different companies, many different drivers on the road, this gives the ability for standardization across all companies. So what we're looking at are 3 levels of coaching. You can do an in-cab coach scenario where in real time, the camera will alert the driver if, for example, they're running stop signs, they're speeding, or possibly most importantly, there's a potential accident, a potential collision with a pedestrian. So the camera is going to warn the driver in advance. Goal is to make change and avoid accidents and incidents altogether. So then the next level is we're going to talk about that coaching piece of it with the virtual coaching. So we talk about accountability. We want to put on the driver's device their app where they're going to see their score and they're going to own their response, their reaction, their action to driving. Every time they get out of a vehicle, they've got on their phone, on their app, their score. They know where they can improve. They're going to receive a video per week of their own driving behavior as a virtual coach so that they can make these changes and really do their best to improve so that when we talk about the incentivization aspect, they've got the ability to gain. It might be money, it might be benefit of being that safest driver on the bulletin board over that lunchroom access. So that's our driver eye camera. That's our top tier advanced coaching. And we have another solution that I want to present right now, which is what we call our all-in-one solution. A lot of our customers, some of our franchise customers only have field service, our service bridge solution, if you will. And they're in the market for a possible GPS and camera solution. We have an all-in-one solution that would fit this bill perfectly. It is going to provide very much the same capability as the camera we looked at, with a few differences. So it is meant to be a very easy installation as a plug-and-play device. You'll plug it directly into the OBD2 port. It is presented on your portal as a one seamless view, what's been referred to in the industry as one pane of glass. So all information is present in one single location. As we look at this next slide, we're going to talk about some of the behaviors that we're going to monitor. And as you can see, it's very important. We talk about the pedestrian collision warning. We talk about forward collision warning. So we want to be active and prevent accidents from even happening and help your fleet, help your franchisees. So over on the other side, you're going to see the distracted driving and the seatbelt. So as we conclude, we're going to talk about that one seamless pane of glass. We're going to hit play on this video, and I want to highlight the clarity with which we've got data. Meaning if you need to read a license plate or you need to understand true scenario, quality of camera gives you this capability. So in conclusion for the camera, I hope I was able to demonstrate how we here at GPS Insight, we have multiple layers of a camera solution that could benefit you as a company. So we would encourage a next level of conversation. If you're curious, please reach out to us so that we can do a little bit more discovery with you and find the best solution. So I want to thank everybody again. Miles and John, thank you for allowing me to present alongside. I appreciate your skill set and your information. And to the audience, I hope this was very helpful and feel free to reach out to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Evan. And I want to echo what Evan said. You guys have been a tremendous audience. And again, thank you to John for your help and insight as well. If Give us a moment and we will pull up some of the questions that were asked. And while I'm pulling that up, I'll invite John to jump back in with us. And we will kind of answer these questions live and on site. Um, there
There
we
I am.
go. Hey, there he is. All right. So, a question that came in, uh, John, I'm gonna pass this first one off to you. It seems like a Service Bridge question. How does Service Bridge integrate with my existing accounting or CRM system? We talked a little bit about QuickBooks, but maybe just a little bit more context to that.
Yeah. So Service Bridge, going back first, I'll start with the QuickBooks reference. So we do have a out of the box bi-directional integration with QuickBooks, and what that really simply means is out of the box, you tell us you have QuickBooks, and we'll set that up for you basically on your first onboarding session. It's super standard operating procedure for us. So you just let us know if you have QuickBooks online, and we'll help you with the rest from there. For any other existing accounting software, any CRM system, um, quite frankly, even if you're using an ERP and you wanted to use Service Bridge specifically, you totally can. Again, going back to the open API that I mentioned, we do have that fully published. So anything that we don't have set up out of the box outside of QuickBooks Online, we do still have that fully documented, and you'll be able to pull that information into whatever existing system that you're using.
Awesome. Thank you. We got another one. Evan, this looks like a driver eye question. I'll throw this one to you. Is the driver eye system compatible with other telematic platforms?
So that's a great question, Miles, and it's a fairly complex. The driver eye solution is compatible, and if you have another solution in place, yes, you can use our driver eye solution to gain industry leading technology. We, of course, do pair it with our own GPS telematics, where you'll see one single pane of glass. So the short answer is yes, you can very much use it in nearly any solution or situation.
But it definitely works better when using the GPSI solution.
Yes, in our family of products, it is meant to integrate similar to the Apple product line. They are intuitive, they connect extremely easily, and there's what we call the capability to move seamlessly between information.
Okay. Um, Evan, there's another one here for you. You did touch on this a little bit, but probably a little bit more of elaboration for their answer. Can drivers access their own performance data? So I'd imagine that's probably a question around the driver star.
So that's a great question. Can the drivers access their own information? And it's a layered answer. The first answer is drivers have no access to video footage. Period, full stop. They cannot access their videos. They cannot download their videos. They cannot log in. It is management based. If management wants to push a particular video to the driver's app, and it is a specific app, the driver can watch their own video on that app. Cannot be downloaded or pushed into another app. It is not recordable. So it is very specific and it is locked down. Uh, do you think that answered the question, Miles?
I think it did. And if whoever asked that question, if you want to follow up, again, please reach out to us, support@gpsinsight.com, and we'll be more than happy to connect you with Evan and get you some more context to that. Thank you, Evan. This is more of a general question. I'll tackle this one. It says, how do your products help reduce turnover and improve driver engagement? That's also a really solid question. I'll speak first to Service Bridge, and then I'll speak to our telematics side. Um, so in the same interview that we had with the Domain and Dwayne, they were talking about how their field techs love using Service Bridge solutions, um, simply because it made their lives easier. When you go to a job and you don't have a piece of paper, you have a tablet and it has a template on there. So all the things that you're going to do on a mandatory check, it's all there. So you save so much time and energy, and you can just tap all the things once you mark it complete. The office is aware of it. Um, they loved that. Their techs had nothing but positive things to say about how easy it was. It made training much easier as well. And honestly, it helped bring in the best of the best. It made them a competitive employer compared to other service industries, out in Jamaica, because they had this solution. So somebody who got hired reached out to a couple of their friends who were super quality techs, and they said, "You guys got to jump over here because this service bridge, I've never seen anything like it. It's super helpful. It's super awesome. I love it." And it's been really nice. Again, they serve the entire island of Jamaica. So home base, maybe 4 hours away from a tech who's on the job. Um, Rather than having that tech go all the way to the office and then go all the way back, spend an entire day just getting inventory, they're able to use that software to say, hey, you're starting to run low on X, Y, and Z. Next time you're here, we're going to have a crate ready for you. You put all that gear in your truck so that way you're ready to go for the next couple of jobs. Um, that saved them time, it saved them money, it reduced wear and tear on their vehicles, just having to drive around to pick up stuff. Super incredible. So that helped them because it just made their employees' lives easier. Now, from a dash cam perspective, also on our YouTube channel, we have a customer testimonial business called Wake Electric. They're based out of North Carolina. Um, they talked about their experience bringing on the driver eye camera with their fleet. And as you can imagine, there's a lot of dissatisfaction with having a camera in the cab. It felt like Big Brother was watching them all the time. But once the drivers recognized that the camera was there to actually help them rather than, punish them or kind of keep them in check, it changed everything. Rather than them saying, oh, the boss is watching me, or the office is watching us, they would click the driver initiated button on their cameras, and then they would call their fleet manager and they'd say, hey, did you see this thing that just happened? I sent you a video. So the managing of videos goes both ways. As Evan mentioned, you can send a video to a driver, but a driver can also send a video to a fleet manager, which is really great because their business was constantly being attacked by fraudulent insurance claims. People would just run into their vehicles because it just looked like a generic white truck. That meant it was a business. That meant they had business money, so they could sue them. So now they had these dash cameras to say, oh, actually, this person ran into me, or no, this person brake checked me, and this is what happened. I had it all on film. So that helped a lot, especially because, their drivers were feeling uncomfortable driving out on the roads. And while it was awkward at first, integrating the dash cams to their fleets, they were able to sign up, use it, get on board, and really provided a lot of peace and comfort as they were going out and about. Um, Apologize for that TED Talk, but you can see many more solutions like that on the YouTube channel. I hope I was able to illustrate answers to both our FSM solutions and our telematics dashcam solutions. Let's wrap it up with one more. This looks like this is a service bridge question. I'll pass it off to you, JT. Can I customize automation within Service Bridge? So I'd imagine they're talking about their schedulers.
Um, yeah, let's take that one offline. If we could have whoever asked that question, I'd need a lot more clarity to better answer that. Something we could do definitely is either jump on a call or a demo, but we do have a lot of customization. And so again, as we've kind of gone over like, just a brief overview today, we've only just scratched the surface. There is a lot of customization options within Service Bridge. So that sounds like just a perfect question, perfect candidate for someone that if we could take that conversation further, let's exchange info and we'll go from there.
Okay. Yeah, totally fair, totally valid. Um, all right, and it looks like that might be all of our questions. So we'll we'll end the webinar here. Again, a huge thank you to John Town, Evan Korn for being our presenters today, sharing their insights, and hopefully you were able to glean the three essential skills: our FSM solution, a customer obsessed support solution, and our dash cam solution to make your fleet the best that it can be. If you have any questions, again, please reach out to us, support@gpsinsight.com. We're super grateful for you taking your Thursday to share it with us. And if you're watching this recorded, thanks for taking the time to watch with us. And we'll leave it there. Thanks, everybody.